Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of GFreak Speaks Podcast, episode 19, sponsored by absolutely fucking nobody, because no one's jumping on board with the sponsorship. At the moment, we're small. If you guys are wanting to sponsor the stream and the podcast, GFreak Speaks, this is where we would have the segment as well as in the middle of the podcast. So just letting you guys know that if you guys are out there wanting to sponsor a podcast, the only one in the country that does this type of interviewing, let me know. Hit me up, slide me into the DMs. This podcast can also be found on Spotify, Apple, and Audio Boom at GFreak Speaks, as well as YouTube for the visuals. But joining us today is Miggy, my man. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you? Beautiful, beautiful Saturday morning.
It is, man. It's a nice 29-degree day. It's going to be good for my nice and white skin to get a little bit of a tan. Yeah. I need to work on that, bro. I need to work on that. But have you got much on for today, man?
No, not today. It'd be nice to have a solid weekend. I've been pretty flat out the last couple of weeks, so taking time off, relax, chill, have a chat with you. Good. Maybe jump on a few games, watch a few streams, kick back, relax, get ready for the F1.
Here we go, baby.
There we go.
Here we go. Yeah. F1, dude. How are you thinking about these new cars?
I'm loving it, to be honest. A brand new set of rules and regulations that, you know, if it's done properly, if it's done with, you know, FIA kind of changing shit up, they're going to have some new kind of runner leaders at the front. Mid-pack is going to be different. The tail end is going to be different as well. So really interested to see. I mean, we know that the cars are a little slower.
Yeah, they are.
The wheels are a little bit bigger.
Yep.
So, you know, it'd be interesting over the next couple of years to see what, technological aerodynamic advances they come up with, because F1 does that. They've done it for years, and they're just like, oh yeah, we'll just pull this nugget of genius and make the cars go faster. And you're like, oh, was it the car? Was it the driver? Who knows? But who cares? It's you're going around faster.
I think that with the bigger tires compared, I think they were like 16s. Now they're 18s and a slick tire, a tread. I believe that there will be more grip. So there's going to be less spin outs, less crashes, hopefully. And obviously the speed's a little bit lower. You hope. You really hope.
Well, I think we're definitively going to have less spins this season.
Less spins. Yeah, less spins.
Less spins thanks to Haas making a great decision. So we'll have less spins. Less spins. We'll no more Mazda spins.
What was Haas's decision?
To get rid of the Nikita. I reckon that's a great move.
Did they get rid of him? Oh, shit. Wait, that's their main sponsor. Is his dad still sponsoring? No? Gone.
Nah. So, Mazepin has been booted.
Yeah.
And K-Mag is back.
Okay.
Kevin Magnussen is back in the wheel.
Okay. Who's the main sponsor for Haas then?
I don't know. They re-released the new livery and it's just got Haas.
Shit. Okay.
So, it could be something like, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you think about it, but and this is all speculation. This is all like pulling shit out of my asshole. And my mouth is talking shit. There could be support from FIA.
Okay.
Like,
possibly.
Just to get through it. Like, I mean, if you think about it, 3 weeks out from testing and Bahrain, they've got to pull the major sponsor out.
Yeah.
For the right reason. And it's like, well, what do? You've just sunk millions of dollars to get this company all sorted, and it's just not going to happen. So, probably a bit of support. Makes sense. They're probably scrounging to get a major sponsor.
Yeah.
But, you know, glad to have 10 teams, glad to have 20 drivers.
Yep.
Who knows? Andretti might come in and purchase the team or be the major sponsor because he wants in.
Yep.
But I know that he wants a team in there, which would be sick.
It's just a money pit, man. Like whenever you chuck money into racing, like the return on it from an investor's point of view, it's very like low. Like it's just it's
always been. It's like even if you go back to the origins of motorsport racing, it's always been about a passion. Like I want to go fast.
Yep.
You know, people will throw money at it.
It's
billion-dollar industry now. So
it is.
Yeah. Will you be following this year?
Yeah, I'll be following this year. I'll be following. I really like the way the tail looks on the car. The love part.
Yeah.
How does DRS work with it though? Does it work or what? Where's the
it
flat?
works.
Where's the flat? I haven't even seen it.
It kind of curves back up onto itself.
Okay.
So, like, yeah, I mean, not an engineer, but engineers do an amazing job. But yeah, I've seen it happen in the race, and all the teams have it. So, I mean, you'd be silly if you didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, it kind of feels like it just kind of curves up on itself.
It just slides. It opens up properly. Yeah. Okay. I understand. Yeah. Okay. So
yeah,
let's move on from this Formula One talk for the people that don't understand that type of stuff, man, and the fast cars and the adrenaline and the blood pumping.
Yeah.
Quickly before we move on, okay. Drive to Survive. You like it?
100%.
Love it.
I love it, and I understand that it is dramatization, interpersonal drama and stuff, but it's like billion-dollar industry. Like, you said this, I don't like this. Manipulation of the media. Yep. It's hilarious. I think Toto Wolff and Christian Horner are amazing characters, whether they're real characters in the show or not. It's a nice thing to feel connected to such a multi-billion-dollar big industry that, you know, when you conceive the idea of what Formula One is like so far of what you think you can reach. But to think that these guys are just like, I just don't like you.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, oh, that's relatable.
The gloves are off, baby.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. If you have you ever seen the optic behind the scenes, pretty much like the Drive to Survive? So the process. Yeah,
that one, and I watch every year True Sight, which is the Dota one.
Yep.
I love the insights on major production sports
and
insights. Yeah, even this the one that they did with the NRL with the West Tigers a couple of years ago.
Yep.
Or last year. I mean, anything to give you insight on what a peak athlete is like, I think is great content.
It's a no-brainer.
As long as they don't. Yeah.
Like,
as long as they don't make it propaganda. That's fine.
The thing about it is that, like, what Fox should be doing, right? I'm no businessman. Okay, I'm no businessman. Okay, but I'm working in esports as my full-time stuff, and I think that Fox needs to bring in some sort of. So if you're watching the AFL or the NRL or whatever sport, you need to have a legend in that sport that's retired or current, and you need to sit them on the couch with whoever else is associated with the sport, and set them up with food or whatever they want, and have their live reaction to the video to the live footage. Like, press red for whoever. Like, they did it with Eddie McGuire, and that was good.
Yeah.
But imagine doing that for all sports. You know what I mean? Like, imagine doing that for every sport. Everyone, like, you have legends in each sport to do that. You press red and you jump in and you watch them react. And obviously, you have to have a personality. They have to be a little bit over the top, a bit of mayo, you know, bit of mayo on it. But imagine that. You know, like, it's a no-brainer.
I feel like there's a lot of that transition into sports stars and retirees into commentary.
Yeah.
And there's a formality to commentary which is needed to supplicate the broadcast rights, etc. But like, if you do that with, I guess, sports stars with a bit more free reign, it would be hilarious.
Yeah, for sure.
When LeBron, when Kev Garnett is free and he sits down, I reckon he would be the biggest trash talker in basketball in the last 20 years, and he would be a character because he would have no holds barred going in on players that is like, that's stupid.
Yeah,
I reckon that'd be fantastic content. Just pitch it to Fox, mate. Get in there. Well, producer at Fox.
If I pitch it to Fox, then I can't. They'll take it and be like, thanks, and then see ya. You know what I mean?
True.
Thanks for the idea. Yourself. And then I'll be see you later. I'll be asked. So it would be good though. I don't know if you have any connections there, but I'll pitch that. It just works. You look at it gaming. Like, imagine if you had like the Misfits, for example, watching the footy when they have no idea about it, and they just meme about it with each other.
Characters.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like Dane Swan watching Collingwood games, because he takes over the sports bet Twitters and does the feed on Brownlow night. Imagine that. You know what I mean?
That'd be sick.
Like, it's a no fucking brainer. I should be a producer at Fox Sport, honestly, man. Honestly, bro.
Fox Sports, if you're listening.
Fox Sports, if you're listening.
Sponsor right here.
Thank you very much. I'll get my own way there. I don't mind catching public transport or driving. That's okay. We'll just talk in the office.
Or a helicopter,
Well, I'm being real conservative. I'm being real humble right now. I'll catch the train with my Mikey, okay, and I don't give a shit, okay. I'm just saying. But, dude, let's jump into who are you today, man? How did you get into gaming or photography?
Yeah.
And so let's start with gaming because that's what you're around about and all about. Okay, so how did it all begin?
Yeah. So, I mean, currently, to start off where I am right now, I currently work as the account manager at Fortress. It's a pretty big venue in Melbourne, and we recently announced our Sydney venue coming on later on, hopefully in coming summer. And that's pretty much a huge gaming venue that has a lot of gaming culture immersed in it, whether it be video games to board games, etc. Your classical stuff. And the story to get there comes all the way back to as a young child watching particular older kids playing these pixels that would just appear on screen and you were controlling them. And it was just like, oh, this is enthralling. What's going on here? And you watch like a Space Commander I'm showing my age.
Yeah. Never heard of it.
Space Commander. I remember definitely having like the PS1, definitely playing the Super Nintendo with the most ergonomically sized and designed controllers. I have never seen a more square controller in my life, and I hope to never see one again, because that was, if we have problems with RSI these days, I imagine what it would have been like in the early 80s and 90s when they had sharp corners on their plastic design. We think we've got problems with our hands, and they look at them and there's like indents of the corners on their palms, and like, oh, what's going on? And it was enthralling to me. Video games were a new media that would I mean, obviously I was like a child at the time, and I'm not thinking that it's a new media, but I was like, oh, I'm absolutely engaged by this, and just followed it all the way. I think I was a PlayStation boy, so PlayStation 1, 2, 3,
hey, gang,
4. Yeah, I'm waiting for
you got the 5?
I'm waiting for God of War.
Okay.
I need a game to absolutely go, okay, this is the game that I know that I will get my value's worth. Sorry?
You can get it on PC.
No, the new one, the Ragnarok.
Oh, can't you get it on PC?
No, the new one I don't think is coming out on PC, so that'll be on the 5. I'll buy the 5. I'll be like, okay, cool. I bought the PS4 because of God of War.
Yep.
I'll do the same for the 5. If that's the last in the franchise, we'll see what franchise picks me up in for the 6.
Yep.
And then next thing you know, you transition to the PC Master Race, if you will.
Yep.
And this is where it kind of really exploded. I got into StarCraft, watching GSL when StarCraft 2 came out. I found Twitch in the early Justin TV days and started watching EG. No, I was not a COD person.
Really?
I was a RTS person through and through. I'd be watching EG with Idra and Huck, where they would have battles for days. There was Thorzane and the Muslim and the little one, Team Liquid's rivalry in the early 2010s. And then more recently after that, I just found the community of Twitch for Australia, which was at the time extremely small. Like, I'm talking, you could find the Australian Twitch streamers in like a handful. You would find like,
it was like 20.
10
10
in Sydney. Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely remember, like, there was a point where there was a small group that would run a weekly, like, a group stream called 64 Bytes, and Jack Hutto was on it. And I know you've had him on previously, and it was like, there was literally like 10 of us, and we would just rock up 24-hour streams, and the next thing you know, we're organizing Twitch Sydney meetups at Spawn Point with 30 people, and it was like, now just to think about that now is like, I don't think there's a major city where there'd be just 30 streamers.
No.
Right? Yeah. And as part of that, I was helping organize that. Jumped on board with Athletico, helping them once they during the PUBG days, which is a big highlight. Watching them whether to say fortunately or unfortunately, come second in one of the PGLs.
Yep.
Because it was extremely close. I remember watching that at 5 a.m. in the morning. And
so explain what a PGL is for people.
PGL is a PUBG Global League. I believe that was the one. It's kind of like an IEM for PUBG at the time. One of the bigger major tournaments that you get international teams flown out. You know, we had Order went through a few times. What was the other one? We did. I think Chiefs did once. Tainted Minds at the time went through from Australia, and this was the peak of PUBG when everyone was playing it. Just before Fortnite came in. And
what year was this?
It was a good
2017?
2017, 2016, 2017, 2018. Yeah, that kind of period. I think if my math's correct, Fortnite is about to hit their 5 years.
Yeah, it came out in 2018, I believe.
Yeah, so they'll be close to hitting their 5 years, I think, next year or tail end of this year, 4 years.
Yeah.
Maths. Don't do maths on stream.
Aren't you an accountant?
No, account manager, so I don't have to worry about that.
So you manage, you say, okay, I need this, and you manage, okay.
Yeah, account management, client-partner relationships and stuff like that. So it's not that I sit there and like look at all the numbers and make sure cash flow is good. So it's okay. No.
Okay.
Different account. And joined Fortress in 2020. And then we know what happened in 2021 and 2020 and 2021. So it hasn't been the smoothest run for where I've been at, but it has been a pivot and a learning curve. But here we are, and I'm keen to continue to do stuff in gaming, whether it's at work full time or even outside where I take photos at events. You know, I've got I have ambitions to do like portraits and stuff with people and figure all that out, whether they're gaming or not. And I've done previous gaming events like PAX, MIGGIE, IEM, and whatnot. So, yeah.
What's the biggest event that you've shot at and your most favorite one? It can be globally as well. It doesn't have to be Australian based.
Yeah, I unfortunately was not able to, and this is one of my biggest regrets, to go over with Athletic to some of their bigger events in Sweden. And I wanted to do IEM Sydney, but I had a few things that I needed to deal with one of my closest friends actually getting married and timing their reception, not their reception, but like their engagement party on the same weekend as the last IEM Sydney. So I can't really do this. Oh. Yeah, it was really rough. I was like, oh yeah, I could do this. And then next thing you know, I was like, hey, we want you to be the MC at our wedding. So, and I was like, if I say yes to this, I have to go to the engagement party.
Should have said, how much are you paying me? Because they're paying me this at IEM.
Yeah, look, it's kind of like, cool. Like, a long-time friend.
Okay.
But yeah, I would say biggest event was the last MEO. I was on stage with, I think the R6 team as well, which was great fun. And that was good fun. Now it's kind of crazy because all these conventions and really getting into the industry, when you start working with people, you're like, holy shit, wait. Back in 2018, when I was taking photos of this, I was on the same stage as you when we didn't actually know each other, but I've got this photo of you that never made the light of day, but here you are. Like, it's just this connection of it just reminds you how small the esports industry is.
I know. Well, in our country, overseas, it's enormous. It's rivaling, it's nibbling at soccer and NFL's heels. So it's quite large. And it's weird because I was actually doing boxing today, and someone said, what do you do? And I said, oh, well, I work in esports. And they're like, oh, okay. They're like, oh, did you study at Deakin? I'm like, no. They're like, oh, where did you study? I'm like, I didn't. I'm like, it's just experience over 10 years of just being in the industry and knowing it and learning it. I'm like, nothing kind of ever beats that. And they're like, oh, well, I was doing sports management. I'm like, well, I don't know if any esport athletes need sports management at the moment, but it would be definitely something to future plan for when they do.
Absolutely.
In that representation. So that's something out there for people listening and aspiring to become part of esports, that it's an untouched space right now. Now, I don't know how you do it. You probably do your sports management at university, and then you go into esports, because there's no sport management. It's just sport management. But Yeah, but then again, like sport management, that is so competitive. Like, say for example, I go to uni, right? Now, I might be being a little bit ignorant with it, but I go to uni. I'm in sports management. I'm fully qualified, and I want to be a manager for, we'll say, Dustin Martin. Why would they choose me when they've got the current manager who's a beast? How do you break into that? How do you break into that? Like, it's just the toughest shit.
Do you just pick someone and hope for the best?
I don't
and
know.
All in?
I don't know. How do you just get your foot in the door?
I mean, I guess there would have to be a progression chain, because they wouldn't just give you the best person in the world. But you probably get a few. You get your straps by doing, like, I guess, a lower league.
Yep.
Or the feeder leagues that do that, and a similar kind of thing. I guess that's the whole premise of like grassroots and coaching and everything. It would be insane, but I think the more impressive thing is when someone who's the age of like super young is like, oh yeah, I'm managing this person, and it's like, okay, you must have your head on straight to get to where you are, to be managing some of these really big names to get it right.
It's even starting in the lower leagues. Like, okay, you've got Jimmy, Timmy, and Ty, and who do you pick out of those three? They're all the exact same. They graduated the same year. It's like for the guy coming through the VFL, for example, and you're like, who do I pick? Like, it's so weird. Like, probably personality there and how they act, and I think how they present themselves would be the thing. So, hey, if you're going for a job application out there, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to present yourself well and speak well.
Absolutely.
And kind of like don't care. You just kind of like have to like not care to a degree, because it gives you the thing of you're not losing anything. Like, you just go for it. And they love that.
Yeah. It's a fine level of confidence and arrogance.
Yeah.
It's like,
not too cocky though, because you're like, they're a wanker.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to be able to be like, okay, well, I'm confident in what I'm saying. But not to be like, I am the only voice in the room.
That's right.
And I think that's the best way to say it is, you've got to be able to be like, okay, well, cool, we can have this discussion right now and be like, yep, I believe in what I'm saying, but you can't be like, anything else is wrong.
Yeah, you got to hear the other side of the story. You can't.
In my opinion. Yeah,
you can't just chuck a statement down and then don't hear the other party. You just can't do the post and ghost. You can't do that. You can't do that.
Could you imagine that at a job interview? You walk in and go, yeah, you should just hire me. I'm probably the best option you've got. Close the door and walk out. Like,
rumor has it. That's what you did at Melbourne Esports. I mean, at what's it called? Fortress, isn't it?
Nah. I went through the whole process as well. No, it's all good. There's always a process.
Oh man,
for sure.
But hey, let's go into Fortress, man. I love it. It's great. It's a cool place. You guys had me there for a VIP night. Been back there since a couple times. Just vibing out, checking out the place, sussing it. We got a COD LAN coming up.
Yes.
If you would know about that. Got a Call of Duty event LAN coming up. Don't know if I'm going to be casting or emceeing or whatever. No idea. It'd be good to just be part of the grassroots stuff. But very excited. But back to what I was saying before, it's a cool venue. And for people that don't know what it is and they're just listening now, describe it to them. Tell me about it. What was the goal there? How is it set out?
So, I mean, we like to call it a culture HubSpot for gaming, or at least, home for game. And I say that simply because we know that it's really difficult to kind of describe what it is, because it's wide. It covers a lot of bases. So you've got an arena, the Alien Arena upstairs, opportunities for a bit of esports coverage, LANs, tournaments, viewing parties, and it's also a very malleable space for just LAN gaming as well. Downstairs is a pretty big tavern, which kind of caters to the whole board game aspect. There's a couple of nights doing Dungeons and Dragons, in a tavern that kind of sets like it's the set that you would start in a D&D session. We do have a LAN. We've got a few streamer pods. There's an event space. There's some arcades. There's 2 bars. There's a full kitchen, a restaurant. So you kind of look and go, wow, that's a big undertaking. And it is. Fundamentally, it is. But at the end of the day, we just want to make sure that there is a safe, welcoming space for gamers. And that's not to say that there isn't already all over Australia. You've got your rooms, you've got your other bars, you've got your other locations, but we want to add another one. And we had the opportunity, or Fortress has the opportunity to do a hell of a lot more that just is consolidated into one spot. So, you know, I think that for a lot of COD players, they really wouldn't. Well, I'm making an assumption. Prove me wrong, COD players. You can call me out. I don't think that a lot of COD players would be the type of people that go, oh yeah, I spent 8 hours on a Sunday doing a D&D session.
No.
Although there may be.
I don't know them. I'm in the COD community.
Yeah.
I don't know them from the COD community.
Yeah.
You guys are out there. Comment in the comment section. Call out your mate who does that.
Let me know. Call me out.
It might be like a cupboard Dungeon and Dragon player. You know, just hidden one. Just don't admit it to mates. So just play it. Go there.
It's like they're the COD player that's actually playing a D&D session on the side whilst they're doing their matches, like on the offside, doing the slash roll on the 20s, making sure that they've got everything sorted. But you know, that's what I think is what we're achieving at gaming, is that it's not just the video games. It's board games. It's the traditional roll dice games. You know, the arcade section is a throwback to the nostalgia games, console games, and video games. It's if you really sit down and think about the gaming culture and the way that you entertain yourself is with aspects to games. It's not just the one that you sit at your desk. It's not the one through the screen.
Yep. And
there's so many opportunities for you to be introduced to more of those elements by coming to one space that is far more welcoming than as daunting as it seems to be. Like, okay, well, how do I set up a character sheet? How do I play a board game or Settlers of Catan for the first time if you've only ever played a console game or a PC game? Yep. So, yeah, I guess that's a long-winded way to describe what Fortress aims to do.
I love it. And I think the best part about it that some people may even miss is that a lot of people don't get the social interaction in person, which is always top tier to me. It's always the best, especially when you're doing a presentation. If you're trying to chat to someone in person, just to banter with them and stuff, it's always better to have that physical connection. And so Fortress provides a place where people that want to catch up in a space where they're conscious and they may not leave their house, for example, that they can go there and they can feel at home and comfortable and have their Minecraft fire in the background. And you know, and just actually physically hang out with their friends that they've met virtually, in a safe space. And that's what I like about it, man. It's great, and it's got some good colors, good glow. We love a little bit of glow.
Good. And got a few neons.
Got a few
that you could change.
Couple of neons, a couple of neons.
Just a few.
Yeah, the kids' parties can be there as well.
Absolutely,
I like it, man. I like it. I really do like it. But I'm very interested to see how the Call of Duty land plays out. That's going to be dope. But what were you saying, man?
I was just saying, is one of the surprising things about what we get at Fortress is not just the kids' birthdays, you know, and one thing that probably people don't think about is we get Bucks parties.
Yeah,
it's like,
do you get Bucks parties at Fortress?
Bucks parties that kick on wherever Fortress.
No way.
No way. Imagine that though. That's okay. Think about it. Yeah. 4 hour COD session. Get on the piss. Then you go, all right, cool. Let's kick on to the next one. What's next? Bucks parties are huge.
Are you guys bringing strippers into Fortress as well in the Bucks?
Look, unfortunately, none of that. But they say that this is where they kick on. They get their feed. They get their food. They have their gaming session. Off they go. But whatever they decide to do afterwards is entirely there. They can go to another venue entirely.
Yeah, I love it, man. Dude, imagine if you guys offer that. A pole just drops down from the ceiling, disco ball pops down next to it, and then people just come in. Just
I don't know how that'd go across.
That doesn't go well with gaming, does it? No, that's great. So who's the founder of Fortress? Whose idea is
there's
it?
John. I think it was John Satley.
Yep.
He's the founder. The story that I was told, and he's very fond of this, is that he has a napkin. It's always a napkin, isn't it? Where he was scribbling an idea
Here we go.
on it. So he drew the crest and the F, and the story beholden to him is that he's got a history in entertainment with Village and owning owning a record label.
Yep.
So entertainment is his bread and butter. So, he noticed that music was there. He noticed that film was there. He's made a decision that, gaming is there. So he's gone in and gone, okay, well, what are we going to do? A big one. Let's do a big one.
The big kahuna.
And he is, yeah, he's not a man that likes to go, let's start. We'll go in big. Let's just do that.
We'll go home. Simple as that.
Simple as that. Great mentality.
I love it, man.
So,
that's great. He's definitely built a really cool place now. Obviously, these things come at a cost, especially being in Melbourne Central, man. What was it before Fortresses took over those? It took, like, for people listening, if you guys haven't been, Fortress is a multi-level place right smack bang in the heart of Melbourne, in Melbourne Central. Like, it is nuts.
Emporium, so it's just across the road from Melbourne Central.
Right across the road.
Yeah.
2 levels.
What so if I'm not wrong, it was Top Shop or Top Man on those. Yeah, like it was like a fashion.
Oh, really?
Store.
Oh,
yeah, it's something that would be akin to like Uniqlo, but not Uniqlo, I guess. But yeah, it was 2 levels. It was a fashion kind of clothing retailer, I believe. And yeah, we took over, what is it now, 2.5 levels.
Wow.
As well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you go into Sydney as well. I don't know how much information you can say or whatever, but is there going to be that same goal, same venue size and ambitions up in Sydney as well?
Yeah. So if you are in Sydney, we are in Central Park and Broadway, right across UTS. And if you go there right now, a couple levels up, I think it's level 2, you'll see our big blockade of hoarding, which is literally just saying Fortress Sydney coming soon, and stuff like that. But yeah, Fortress Melbourne is the foundation for what Sydney is going to be like. So the size of it is gonna be the same, and you'll see it when you walk there. You'll see how long the big bollard is. It's quite substantial. So I can't go into too much detail, but it is.
Come on.
It's going to be great.
Tell me what's inside that Fortress Sydney, man. Come on.
It's going to be great.
Okay.
It's going to be great. Let's just say that Fortress Melbourne, Fortress Sydney will be a good combo. A great combo together.
Wombo combo.
Hit that every single time.
Okay.
Hit it every time. You get the, I don't know, I'm a Dota fan, so you hit the, what's the Wombo combo? I guess it's any stun plus Earthshaker's ultimate. So anyway, I'm just being a nerd.
Being a nerd, mate. To be honest with you, I didn't realize it was actually like a stun and something else. I just say the Wombo combo because it actually rhymes. Yeah. That's the only reason I say it. So there we go. You taught me something. I taught everyone else listening something.
Just something that works together from 2 people that comes together, right?
I like it, man.
Exactly it.
I like it, dude.
Yeah.
And what was your inspiration behind getting behind the camera lens for gaming? Like what thought, like you could have gone weddings, you could have gone sport, like, racing and AFL and NRL or whatever, man. What got you into gaming for photography?
I guess it was the 2 passions together.
Yeah.
It just seemed a natural fit. Yep. I picked up photography at a New Zealand trip. My dad got an SLR, and he had a couple friends, and he had done it previously in the past. That was just taking photos as you would to keep memories. And this is all film back in the day in his time, and he bought his first DSLR lens, and I ended up picking it up and just, sorry, you're not using this again. This is now mine. And yeah, from then it was just like, how do I get better at this? How do I take better photos? What am I looking at? Like, why is this here? And next thing you know, it's like, well, I'm going to my first PAX.
Yep.
I'm going to these gaming events. I'm meeting all these people. The premise is the same. I still want to create these memories or redeem these memories by taking a photo. And It just so happened that I think the first PAX I was just taking photos as a person that's walking around. Next thing you know, I've developed my skill, invested in the expensive hobby that is photography. And then, I was just like, okay, cool. I've got opportunities to take photos of people with Athletico as I went down. People suggested me after, people see that I was taking great photos. And next thing you know, working at MEO and PAX at ESL on stage, wearing the production blacks and the most comfortable shoes that you can because you're on your feet the whole damn time, putting a camera to your face. And after that, taking photos of events, it's enthralling it to be very specific about getting the emotion of gamers. You've got your gamers that don't do anything. They'll clutch and they're just like
stone cold. Ice.
Ice, nothing. But then you've got the ones that are just so intense that they will scream at their screen when they've done. They will yell. And conversely, then you've got the people that win that overall thing, and it's a sense of relief and joy and all of that. And those moments are the ones that you kind of go, those are synonymous to the sports photos that you always see.
Yeah.
And why not capture those?
Yep.
I think there are some great photos of like League of Legends where like, I think it was this great photo of like Faker losing for the first time or something. And there's this radiant light coming from the main stage light behind the PCs. And he's just got his hands in his head, like breaking down. You're like, that's emotion.
Yeah.
And emotion is there when you play games. That's the reason why you rage. That's the reason why you click next. That's the reason why you get on every single time. And this is just amplified 1,000 times because the stakes are higher in front of so many more people.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to do.
And what's something that
if I continue to do it?
Oh, sorry. What's something that you would say to aspiring videographers and photographers out there that want to get into the scene?
Craft your skill, find a niche. I guess it's similar to streaming. It's a content creation platform that you kind of go, okay, well, there is a lot of people out there, and yes, there are different styles, different techniques, different outcomes to what you can do. But finding what you really enjoy, go for it. But also be compromising of saying, if I really want to get into this particular area, if I want to get into videography with esports teams, it's like you've got to do your craft.
Yep.
Find out ways like. I hate taking photos myself.
Yeah.
I'm behind the camera for a reason, right? But at home, it'll be, okay, well, I've got a free weekend and I want to practice this. I want to get the lighting right. I want to capture this. I want to see what this does. And it's just learning the skill. Yes, a privilege to have the time to do that. A privilege to have the equipment to do that. But I guess it's the same thing. I really want to encourage photographers to just take photos, learn, get better, and take your damn time. It's not something that you're going to get immediately. Yeah. It's not something that you're going to like rush off to. And you don't have to worry about your phone cameras. The people that have this fake blur, if you're confident in your own kind of skill set, if you're confident in getting critiqued from people that you respect, and people that'll be like, yeah, look, I like this, this, and this, and this, and you understand the elements of it, then you're going to learn.
Yep.
Get into it by going to an event, talking to the photographer and saying, hey, my name is blah, blah, blah. I really want to get into photography. I'd love to get to understand how you got to be the person that's on stage with the accreditation to walk around. Because if you make assumptions about how they got in there, you're never actually going to get it right.
Yeah, exactly.
So ask.
Now that's some inspiring stuff there you just dropped on the podcast, man. It's gonna shed a tear, bro.
Do it. Shed tears.
I love
Emotions
it.
Are good.
I love it. But dude, we've smashed out nearly 40 minutes. How crazy is that?
Oh, have we?
Yeah, we've smashed out nearly 40 minutes, man. We're 15 seconds away, bro.
Coffee?
What was that?
What have we got? Like 3 topics or something? 3 key major topics, I'd say.
No, we punched through a fair bit. We punched through like some Fox Sports. We punched through sport management, some event stuff, Fortress, Bucks Party, Inspiration. Hey, we punched through a fair bit of stuff. And Formula One.
Okay.
And your origin story as well.
That's true.
There we go.
That's true. That's a big portion.
There's a bit of stuff all compacted into one. One big love ball. Dude,
I love talking though.
Where can we find you on the socials, brother, before we wrap this up?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter. I have Miggie, MIGGIE. I think my Instagram is, unfortunately, the Miggles. THEMIGGLES, because someone has Miggie and it's dead, and someone has the Miggie, so I had to compromise with the L. But anyway, those are the two main platforms. I have a stream schedule that is highly achievable of twice a year, and that's all I'll commit to. If you get any others, it's a bonus. That's how I'm going to take it. Streaming is not my main platform, so
don't worry about it
for fun. Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, don't worry about it, man.
My photography is, I've got my website on my Twitter handle for my photography. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
I appreciate that, man.
Occasionally.
Thank you so much for your time today. One last question before you go. Where do you store your butter? In the fridge or the pantry?
Fridge.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. Thank you so much for your time, and have a fantastic afternoon, morning, night, wherever you're listening to this. I'll catch you around Miggy on the next one. But until then, remember to be safe, stay swole, and as always, boom baby. Peace.